Hey, bros, look who's back. I'm just stepping in here. Your host he's taking a little deuce right now. Deuce. Look, I know it hasn't been too great for you guys lately, so I just want to give you some advice. Like, my yoga instructor in times like these tells me you just gotta breathe in, breathe out. Hands up, hands down, back up, back up. Tell me what you gotta do now. Yes, up. Know what I mean, bros.
Hey.
Oh, look who's back from his little doozy. It's all right. It's just warming it up for you. Just warming it up. I'll get out of your way. I'll let you have it.
Just stop. Get out of here.
Doozy.
Stop.
Doozy. Like,
Doozy.
it's not even your team. Don't say that in front of these people. It's embarrassing.
Sucker blue. I don't want to overreact.
What was that?
This is gonna be a good year.
Not too shabby. The best game ever. Hello and welcome to Hawks Recap. Game 66 has concluded for the Hawks as they finish off their West Coast California road trip with a loss to the San Jose Sharks by a score of 5-2. Obviously not the road trip the Hawks needed at this point, and really it pretty much all but finishes them off for this year. The Hawks go on a 7-game win streak to get themselves into a playoff spot for a mere 1 hour, and then now just a couple weeks later they have lost 4 of their last 5 and find themselves 8 points back of a playoff spot with 16 games left. That's pretty much it. They're not going to be able to come back from that. They had slim hopes. Mathematically, they still have a chance, but realistically, it's just not happening. They're done. With that said, even though I've pretty much claimed them dead in the water, I don't bring out the golf clubs until they're mathematically eliminated, so this spot will remain empty just for a little bit longer. Now, I didn't really think the Hawks played all that poorly in this game. I thought they actually played pretty decently. They weren't perfect, but they played probably their best game of this 3-game road trip, but it still ended up in a loss because, well, against a team like the Sharks, you pretty much need to play perfect, and the Hawks lost not because they played poorly, but just because, well, they were outmatched by a better team in this one. Thankfully, the Hawks didn't get in foul trouble early on in this game. They didn't, take 2 penalties in the first 5 minutes, so that was nice. First 7 minutes of this game was like no shots on goal at all from either team. It was just kind of back and forth action. There was like no stoppages either, but neither team was really giving up anything. They were just keeping each other to the outside, maybe blocking some shots, nothing really getting on net. And then after the first 10 minutes, the Sharks kind of started, having their way with the Hawks. They had good offensive zone time pressure. They were cycling. They were getting to loose pucks. I mean, it was tiring to just watch them just skate around and get shots and just pick up the puck again and get another shot. It was just tough to watch. But the Hawks did a pretty good job weathering that storm. But then the Hawks get caught changing, and Duncan Keith just kind of is in no man's land, and Hurl goes around him and puts it by Ward, and 12 minutes into this game, the Sharks take a 1-0 lead. The Hawks really didn't have anything going in that first period for most of it. They had 3 shots on goal through 15 minutes. But then the last 3 shifts for the Hawks in that period, they really put it together and kind of got the Sharks on their heels. And then with less than a minute to go, Dylan Strome, Alex DeBrincat, 2-on-1. You'd expect Strome to pass it to DeBrincat for the one-timer for the goal. But the pass was kind of being taken away, and Dylan Strome just decides to unleash a rocket of a shot short side, beats Martin Jones, and this game is tied going into the second period. The Blackhawks had a power play in that first period, but they weren't really handling the Sharks' pressure all that well. The Sharks have the 10th ranked penalty kill unit, and they're just really aggressive at the boards, at the points, just really kind of spread themselves out. And if you can recognize that, that actually makes it pretty easy to beat. Because you get the puck down low, you get it to the middle, and you can open things up really quickly. But the Hawks just did not adjust to that on that first power play, so they didn't get really anything on it. They only had 1 shot. But they ended up learning from that coming up later in the game. Now, I know I sounded like I was discrediting the Sharks' 10th ranked penalty kill unit. They're not good because of their scheme. The scheme is very easily beatable. They are good because they have good players that are really good at reading, reacting, and anticipating passes and getting sticks in the lanes and blocking shots. That's a big thing. That's why they're ranked 10 in the penalty kill, not because their scheme is aggressive and everything. Hopefully that makes sense. The Sharks would regain the lead early on in the second period with a nice tip in the slot area. The Sharks are just a team that does that. Like, that's their MO. They've been doing it forever. Their defensemen don't really shoot for the goal. Like, 90% of the time, their defensemen just shoot the puck towards the slot area, like away from the goal, because their forwards are going to be there. They're going to have sticks there, and they're going to redirect it towards the goal. And that's really hard for a goalie to stop. They've been doing it forever, and obviously they're really good at it. Gustafsson would end up tying the game 6 minutes into the second period. Nice little give and go from Jonathan Toews. Nice screen in front from Kunitz, who found himself on the top line in this one. The lines were mixed up for this game. We got weird with the lines a little bit. So Kunitz on the top line. Nice screen in front. Gustafsson blows it by Martin Jones, who couldn't really see it, and the Hawks tie it up 2-2, and that's how it would go into the third period. Now, the Hawks had a second power play in that second period, and like I mentioned earlier, they learned from their first power play. They had 5 shots on that power play in the second period, really learned how to break down that aggressive penalty kill from the Sharks, and had some really good chances. Kind of got unlucky. Probably should have gone into the third period with a lead. Just missed the net, or just Martin Jones made some huge saves or whatever. But it looked good. Just unfortunate that the puck didn't go in. The third period was just the Sharks taking over. And they were the better team, and they just kind of took a hold of this game. The Hawks just pretty much looked worn down. They just couldn't keep up anymore. The Sharks would score 3 goals in the third period, one of them being an empty net goal. And that is how we get the final scoreline of 5-2. So yeah, obviously disappointing with how the Hawks played on this road trip and the last 5 games here. Like I said, the Hawks, I didn't think they played all that poorly in this game. It's just they ran into a really good Sharks team, and it's really just the situation they're in that makes it more disappointing. Now, there is good news, though. The Hawks are in a pretty good position still for the lottery. Like, the Hawks, there was a time where we were thinking, okay, we either make a run for the playoffs or we do the lottery thing. Like, some fans took one way, some fans took the other way. The Hawks ended up going on a 7-game win streak, and it was like, okay, we're going for the playoffs, and we made a nice run. And it was like, okay, well, that throws away our chances for the lottery and everything. Well, it actually didn't damage us all that much. We are sitting in or tied for like 6th to last place in the league. So that's actually better position than we were last year for the lottery. And there's rumors, who knows if they're true, but there's rumors that the Hawks missed the top pick by 1 ball last year. So anything can happen in the lottery. We saw Carolina go all the way down to number 3, and they were like 11th last. So not all's bad. There's positives in this game. There's positives in possible lottery spot. Just kind of have to find the silver lining sometimes. So with that said, thank you so much for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I really hope you enjoyed it. The Hawks have a couple days off now before they come home to play the Buffalo Sabres. Hopefully we hear some Chelsea dagger in that one. Let me know your thoughts on this game down in the comments section below. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate that as always, but most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time.